Good morning, class. Our today's topic is Morphology of Flowering Plant. This is the fifth chapter of your syllabus, and today we are going to study under the morphology of the angiospermic plant or flowering plants about the morphology of root, stem, and leaf. So, look at this picture. This is an entire plant. In which you see the morphology means the external feature of the any typical plant. You can see here it is divided into a two basic system, that is the plant which is found under the ground. It is known as the part is known as the root system, and the part of that plant is found on the aerial part. It is known as the shoot system. In the shoot system you can see there is a stem, leaf, flower, buds, all the types of the buds and all the types of the flower. So today in this class we have to study the parts of the flowering plants. Flowering plants are known as the angiospermic plant. This is the group of the flowering plants is known as the angiospermic plant. A typical flowering plants consist of the two different parts. One is the underground root system and above ground shoot system. In this picture you can also see the typical flowering plants, in which you see the underground root system having a primary root, secondary root, lateral roots, tertiary roots in the typical type of the root system. And on the above the ground you can see the branch, the leaves, the flowers and the fruits. There is a bud also, apical bud and axillary bud. Axillary bud is responsible for the formation of the branch, and apical bud for the growth of the flowers and as well as for the increasing the height of the plant. So start with that root system. Root has no nodes and internodes, means there is no participation, there is no marking, or there is no differentiation, or there is no parts is present, not a segmented form of the nodes and internodes is found in the root system. No bud is found here, and the phenotypic character is that it is positively geotropic in nature, means it's developed towards the geotropic, means towards the gravity, and negatively phototropic, don't go upside, means it is totally negatively in the phototropic in nature, not goes towards the sunlight. Under root system and a ground system, and sometimes it is a non-green also. Sometimes it is a greenish appearance in some cases only, but mostly it is a non-green in the color, as it have no chlorophyll in their tissue system. The main function of this root system is the anchoring the plant. It is responsible to anchoring the plant with the soil, and it can absorb the water and minerals from the soil. The root tip is responsible, the tip region, the marginal region of the root is responsible to synthesize a hormone that is known as the PGR, plant growth regulator, and it also responsible sometimes to store the reserve food materials. This food formed with the help of the photosynthesis may be gone to store inside this area, and at that time this root system is also known as the storage of the storehouse or storage of the reserve food material. So on the basis of this development, as we know that in the seed there is a two part, radicle and plumule. The radicle is responsible for the development of root, as well as the plumule is responsible for the development of shoot. So on the basis of this development, there is three types of root system in the angiospermic plant. One is the taproot system that arises from the radicle as a primary root. One single root is coming down from the radical part. And the example is the all dicot plants having the taproot system. Second is the fibrous root system. When radicle repeatedly branch, means radicle is going to be developed into a so many branch like structure and form a tuft of the root. In case of the grasses or in case of the cereal crops like wheat and rice, you can find the fibrous root system. The third one is the adventitious root system, very common in the monocot and other plant like maize, sugarcane, when root arise from any other part other than the radicle. Radicle is not going to develop into the root system, but any other part or area that is found near by the radicle is responsible to develop the root. It is known as the adventitious root system. You can see in this picture root types. Taproot system, a single conical type of root system found in the carrot. Fibrous root system, a fiber-like structures. So many branch is developed from the radical area. And in adventitious root system, you can find here the development of root from any other part. Sometimes in the prop root you can see also the pillar root system. So this is the root types, different types of the root system. The types of root systems in the taproot system, you can see here a single primary root is developed, and from the branches is known as the secondary roots. After that, tertiary roots, and so many very small root like structure that is known as the rootlets. In the fibrous root system, you can see here a bunch of the roots is found here. So develop from the radicle, taproot system, grow vertically downwards, developed into a primary root, secondary root, tertiary roots, it's grow horizontally. And the roots are in the acropetal succession. Old at base means old roots are found at the base of the root and young at the top of the root. It is always present in the dicot plants. So this type of root is known as the acropetal succession form. Means old roots are found at the base of the root and young at the top of the root, means below the root. And in case of the adventitious root system, developed from any other part than the radicle, they are equal size growth of the roots and also called the fibrous root system also. Sometimes it is known as the fibrous because so many fibers are coming down, and mostly it is present in the monocot plant. So there is a quite difference between the fibrous root and the adventitious roots. Both are the same. Now if we are going to study what are the regions of the root, if a typical root is there in this picture, we can see the internal structure as well as external features, structure of a typical root, the part of the root. You can see it is a taproot system. The below parts is known as the root cap region. It is a very hard, responsible to penetrate the hard to hardest soil. And just above the root cap region, there is a apical meristem tissue is present over here. This tissue is responsible for lifelong cell division and cell growth. So it is known as the region of cell division. Cell always divide in this region. And after the division of these cells is going to elongate in that region, that is elongation zone or region of elongation. Or after the elongation, the root is going to be matured in form of the tissue, in form of the other tissue system. And this is known as the region of maturations. You can find here so many root hairs are present over here on the surface of this such root. This is the region of maturations. The root hairs are here present over here. They are responsible to absorb the water and mineral from the soil for the plant. Sometimes the roots are going to do other functions than its normal functions, means the anchoring and absorption. When roots perform other functions, it is known as the modification of the roots. Sometimes it is store the food. When food is storage here, The taproot like carrot, turnip, radish, they are known as the storage root system. Prop root system is a massive pillar-like structure in the aerial support. You can see in the banyan tree. बरगद के पेड़ में आपने देखा होगा एक लंबे लंबे पिलर की तरीके से मैसिव पिलर लाइक एरियल अलग अलग रूट जैसा डेवलपमेंट है। वो स्टेम नहीं है, वो रूट है, नीचे से जाने के बाद ऊपर से आती हैं ये। और ये प्रॉप रूट सिस्टम है, बिल्कुल ऊपर से निकलती हैं और इनका मेन फंक्शन होता है टू सपोर्ट द बनियान ट्री। नेक्स्ट इज द स्लिट रूट सिस्टम। मेज़ में और शुगर केन में, अगर आपने मेज़ और शुगर केन का प्लांट देखा होगा तो आपने देखा होगा क्योंकि ये मोनोकॉट प्लांट है और काफ़ी थिन और लॉन्ग होते हैं, तो अगर पानी की वाटर लॉगिंग हो जाए या एयर का काफ़ी तेज़ ब्लोइंग होनी जाए, विंड ब्लोइंग हो, तो ये गिर सकते हैं। सो देयर इज़ अ सपोर्टिंग root is arises from the base root, from the base area or basal node of this plant. It is known as the slit root and it is responsible to support the plant from the adverse condition. One type of root is known as the pneumatophore roots. This root is grow vertically actually, bear the nematothodes, and nematothodes is opening for the gas exchange. Such type of plant is found near the seashore. So there is a difficulty to respire this plant near the seashore in the water. So this roots is going from this coming over on the ground surface. So vertically bears and there is opening is present in that root is for the gaseous exchange. Example of such type of plants is known as the Rhizophora plants. It is found near the seashore. So look at this picture. This is the banyan pillar like root structure found in the banyan tree, and you can see here in the asparagus there is a very bunch like structures, and there is a storage root system, turnip, carrots and sweet potato also. Sweet potato is a root. Second condition is the respiration. You can see here the nematophores in the Rhizophora plants for the respiration. All these plants modification. This is the root modification of the plant. You can see here in the case of the food storage how this roots look like. Don't have the definite shape due to the storage of food and arise from the stem and dig into the soil. The cluster of roots becomes the fleshy in case of the groundnut. One plant is, you can see this first plant is sweet potato and another is the groundnut. So cluster of roots becomes fleshy in case of the adventitious root system, the modification. This is the modification of adventitious root system actually, and become the fleshy to store the food found at the base of the stem. Sometimes the roots responsible to do the mechanical supports to the plant. One example, you know that it is a prop root. This roots arises from the branches and it grows the downwards. The main functions to provide the mechanical support to the heavy branches in the banyan tree. Slit root, in this picture you can see the slit root. Stem of such plants are weak. For that, root arises from the stem and grown downward to the soil to give the support. Slit root found in the maize and sugarcane plant, and sometimes climbing roots is also here. Plants like such produces the root from the nodes actually. The nodes are there and nodes is responsible to develop this root. These roots attach themselves to any support and continue any kinds of supports to do with the help of the climbing root as the plant is very weak. Next is the shoot system. Above the ground is known as the shoot system, developed from the plumule, the another part of the embryo of the seed, and it have nodes and internode also. Bear the axillary and terminal bud also, mostly green when young, but after later that it may be woody and sometimes dark brown in color. The branches bear leaves, flowers, fruits. responsible to conduct water and minerals and organic food from leaves to storage part. Means vice versa, two direction of the conduction. One is to conduct the water and minerals that is absorbed from the root to the tip of the region, and in leaves the plants is responsible to transport the organic food which is developed inside the leaf system or in due to the process of the photosynthesis. It is going down from leaf to the storage part where the food is going to store. After that there must be some modification of the root if it is doing other than this normal phenomena or the normal work. So underground storage and vegetative propagation is the main example. Sometimes there is underground storage and it is responsible for the development of new plants by means of the vegetative propagation or vegetative reproduction. One example is the colocasia, that is the arbi, and ginger, turmeric. They are all known as the modification of the underground storage stem. Sometimes it is going to support the plant as the climbing stem tendrils in form of the tendrils forms. Example is the cucumber plants and grapevine plant. The stem is responsible to climb up the plant for the support system. So there is a support system. You can see it is a modification of the stem. The protection thorns in the case of the bougainvillea and citrus plants, protection from the any other animals. You can see there is a thorn, कांटे होते हैं bougainvillea और citrus plants में, जिससे कि grazing animals उसको उसके leaves को और fruits को खा ना सकें. तो protection है. And sometimes it is responsible for the photosynthesis also. As we know that the process of photosynthesis is going to do in the leaf side. लीफ में होता, लीफ के थ्रू होता है या लीफ के अंदर होता है फोटोसिंथेसिस, लेकिन जो ग्रीन प्लांट्स होते हैं कभी कभी वो फोटोसिंथेसिस भी करते हैं. उन प्लांट्स के केस में जैसे कि जो प्लांट्स डिजर्ट एरिया में रहते हैं जहाँ लीफ नहीं होती है एंड द स्टेम इज मॉडिफाइड इनटू द लीफ सिस्टम. सो सच टाइप ऑफ फोटोसिंथेसिस इज फाउंड इन दैट प्लांट, अकमेंसिया, नागफनी जिसको कहते हैं, और एनी कैक्टस प्लांट, यूफॉर्बिया लाइक. वेजिटेटिव रिप्रोडक्शंस इज फाउंड इन द ग्रासेस एंड स्ट्रॉबेरी ऑल्सो. Means the plants is growing with the help of the development of the plants or the reproduction with the help of the stem. Sometimes in jasmine, pineapple, mint, पुदीना जिसको कहते हैं, lateral branch are produce the new plants. This plants अगर कभी पुदीने का पेड़ देखा होगा या जस्मिन का आपने देखा होगा तो उसके ब्रांचेस से ही ब्रांचेस मिट्टी में दब जाते हैं और वहीं से नया प्लांट ग्रो करने लगता है लेटरल ब्रांच से. सो इट इज़ रिस्पॉन्सिबल टू डेवलप और प्रोड्यूस द न्यू प्लांट. सो इट इज़ द मॉडिफिकेशन ऑफ द स्टेम. यू कैन सी हियर द कोलोकेसिया, अरबी का पत्ता आपने देखा, अरबी में एक बार लगा देते हैं छोटे छोटे अरबी तो वहाँ से वो प्लांट डेवलप हो जाता है. या फिर अपुंसिया, नागफनी में देखो लीव्स बिल्कुल सैकुलेंट्स है, इसमें लीफ नहीं है बल्कि स्टेम जो है लीफ का मॉडिफिकेशन हो गया है. कुकुम्बर में भी ये टेंड्रल्स निकले हुए हैं फॉर द सपोर्ट्स. And in case of the mint also, pudina, in case of the guldaudi also. And here you can see the stem tendrils, or it is developed from the axillary bud. A bud is present on the axis of the plant near the leaf. Now come to the another part, that is leaf. What is the main function of the leaf? You know that is responsible for manufacturing the food through the process of photosynthesis, and it is also responsible to exchange the gases, and it have stomata in their upper and lower surface. So respiration is also occur with the help of the leaf. Leaf is responsible for photosynthesis as well as respiration. It also protect the vegetative and floral bud also, and water is also going to transport for the at the purpose of the transpiration, means the loss of excess amount of water from the aerial part from this stomata to maintain the osmoregulation process, to maintain the ionic balance in the plant. So water transports with the help of the leaf, and sometimes it is also going to store the food during the germination process. If we are going to study the morphology and function of the leaf, the part of the plant, you can see it is a typical leaf. You see here there is a stem, and the extra lining or extra branching is known as the petiole. Petiole is the part जिससे कि लीफ स्टेम से जुड़ जाती है, and the basal part near the petiole is known as the base of the leaf. It may be sessile leaves having no petiole. Sometimes petiole is not here. Directly leaf अगर किसी प्लांट से जुड़ती है तो उसे कहते हैं नॉन सेसाइल. लीफ जो है सेसाइल है और यहाँ पर लीफ petiole है. Leaf blade is there, middle part is the blade, and there is a very fine branches is known as the primary vein. Large margin is there, and secondary or lateral vein is also there, and the last region is known as the apex of the leaf. This is the part of an foliage or leaf base, leaf petiole, vein, or leaf lamina or leaf blade, and petiole is there in the other case of the leaf. The leaf base is also known as the hypodium. Hypodium is known as the leaf base. You can see two types of leaf here. One is the simple leaf and there is the compound leaf. A simple leaf, the first picture is the compound leaf. You can see here many margins or many areas of the leaf lobe, and in between the two leaf there is a sinus portion. Petiole is also there, and sometimes there is entire margin is present, no lobes is present over here. In case of the simple leaf, petiole is there, midrib is there, and margin is also there. So this is the comparison of the compound leaf as well as the simple leaf. This is also a leaf. You can see here a broad picture. Sometimes near the petiole there is two stipules is also present. If leaf stipules is present, stipulate leaf; not present, non-stipulate leaf. Near the petiole, the blade is over there. A very fine branches you can see here. A small netted like vein, बिल्कुल जाल की तरीके से, नेट की तरीके से वेन इसमें दिख रही हैं आपको इस लीफ में. तो ये जो नेट है, इनको जो जाल जैसे हैं, इनको कहते हैं वेनेशन. These are known as the venation. The veins and the veinlets in the lamella is called the venation. In the lamina, in the base of this leaf is known as the veinlets, main vein, and then the veins coming out from this vein are known as the veinlets. If network is found over here of the veins, it is known as the reticulate venation. Two type of venation is there. In the dicot plant, you can find a reticulate, a nut-like structure is known as the reticulate venation. The nets are crossed with each other. But sometimes the venations are parallel. There is no cutting, there is no touching of any kinds of the veins to with each other. It is known as the parallel venation. It is found in the monocot plant. अगर आपने केले का पत्ता देखा होगा तो आपने देखा होगा कि बड़ी सी मिडरिप होती है और उसके चारों तरफ जो है वो लंबी लंबी लाइनें होती हैं. ये आपस में कट नहीं करती हैं, यानी कि ये नेट की तरह नहीं होती है. इसीलिए आपने देखा होगा केले के पत्ते जो हैं वो साइड से लंबे लंबे फट जाते हैं ड्यू टू द पैरेलल वेनेशन. आप इसमें पैरेलल वेनेशन भी देखो. टाइप्स ऑफ वेनेशन इज देयर इन दिस पिक्चर. आप वन लीफ इज देयर, that is the convergent, divergent, two types of leaf. Unicostylate, single bending is there. Multicostylate, so many bending is there. And in the unicostylate, it is a parallel venation. And this three pictures is the reticulate venation, and three picture is the parallel venation. Three type of parallel venation is found in the leaf. So many leaves, and convergent and divergent. Convergent is known as the in the reticulate venations, and divergent in case of the divergent and convergent, both type of divergent डाइवर्ट हो रही हैं, and convergent simple सीधी सीधी बिल्कुल दिखाई जा रही हैं, लाइन जा रही हैं. तो two types of the venations is there. This picture also shows a type of venations. अगर आप बहुत सारी पत्तियों को कलेक्ट करें, लीव्स को कलेक्ट करें, तो उसमें अलग अलग तरह का वेन्स मिलते हैं. फर्स्ट टाइप ऑफ वेन जो है वो है एक्यूरेट वेनेशन. अगर क्रॉस कर रही हैं तो क्रॉस वेनुलेट्स. अगर एक से दो ब्रांचें निकल रही हैं तो डाइकोटोमस, मीन्स टू ब्रांचिंग आर देयर. इफ देयर इज इन द लाइनिंग फील्ड, इट इज नोन एज द लॉन्गिट्यूडनल. पाल्मेट बिल्कुल पाम की तरह है, जैसे आपका पाम होता है. पैरेलल है, एक दूसरे को टच ही नहीं कर रही है कोई भी, पैरेलल वेनेशन। एंड इसके बाद पिन्नेट है, एक सिंगल मिडरिप जा रही है, उससे निकल रही हैं ब्रांचेस और टच नहीं कर रही हैं। रेटिकुलेट है, बिल्कुल नेट की तरीके से, जैसे आपने पीपल के पत्ते में देखा होगा, नेट की तरह है। इसके बाद कभी कभी क्या होता है, दे आर गोइंग टू रोटेट, मीन्स एक सिंगल बीच में है और चारों तरफ फैली हुई है, रोटेट टाइप ऑफ वेनेशन। तो अलग अलग लीव्स में ये आपकी 9 टाइप से ये वेनेशंस मिलती हैं। आपके कोर्स में केवल रेटिकुलेट वेनेशन और पैरेलल वेनेशन है, बट फॉर द एक्स्ट्रा नॉलेज आपको हमने दिया स्लाइड में वेनेशंस। फिलोटैक्सी इज द अरेंजमेंट ऑफ लीफ ऑन द लीफ एक्सिस। चिल्ड्रन, कोई भी अगर लीफ का एक आप टिप तोड़े किसी प्लांट का लीफ देखने के लिए, यू विल फाइंड देयर इज एक्सिस इज देयर, वन इज नोन एज द लीफ एक्सिस, जिसमें लीफ अरेंज। लीफ इज अरेंज मोस्टली इन द टीम फॉर्म, 3 फॉर्म्स: alternate, opposite and whorl. Alternate, one is one side, then another is on other side. And opposite, both are opposite to each other. Both the leaves, petioles are opposite to each other. Sometimes whorl is found here, or single leaf is found in a particular area, attached in the particular area of the stem. It is known as the whorl type. But on the basis of this arrangement of leaves, you can see here 12 types. There is a 12 types of phyllotaxy. Alternate, odd palmate, prefoliate, tripinnate. Tripinnate means 3 is there, 3 leaves are here. Tripinnate, 3 leaves are joined here. Perfolates, odd opposite. Bipinnate, opposite type. Rossity type, unifoliate type, whorl type. Whorl type is mostly found in the Kaneer plant. Trifoliate, 3 leaves are joined together, and peltate, 1 leaf is there. Even pinnate, pinnate is there, even not odd. Leaflet is in rows, 2 at tips. If you collect so many plants twig, you can find all these type of the phyllotaxy. So phyllotaxy is basically the arrangement of leaf on the leaf axis. Now compound leaf. In the dicot plant, the leaves are compound leaf. So what are the type of the compound leaf? One is the palmately compound leaf, like palm-like structure. Unifoliate-like structure in the citrus plants. Bifoliate, gulmohar leaf. Trifoliate, trifolium. You can see here. First is the unifoliate. Second is the bifoliate. Third is the trifoliate. 3 leaves are here. Fourth one is the quadrifoliates. 4 leaves are joined together to form the structure in the pinus quadrifolium plant. And if there is so many in the cotton tree or in the Marizona plant also, you can see in the bhang plant, multifoliate leaf type. So many leaves are conjoined together, 5 types. So compound leaves is of the palmately, compound leaves is of the 5 types. Pinnately compound leaf, second is the pinnately, palmately, and second is the pinnately. Panipinade, you can see first structure is the panipinade, long life leaves and arranged in a in the opposite forms, but it is in the leaves are broad. The leaf is bipinnate, 2 leaves are there, bipinnate. In the imli plant, you can see here, and tripinnates, the 3 plants in the babuls and acacia plants, you can see here in the pinnately compound leaf. So such type of leaf is also a phyllotaxial arrangement. Now you know that the main function of the leaf is the process of photosynthesis and to make the food for the plant. But if the leaf is modified to do the other work also, other function also, it is known as the leaf modification. So leaf tendrils is also here in the sweet pea plants. Actually we know that sweet pea plant is a very weak plant. So for the climbing of this plant, there is a requirement of some tendrils like structure, some tendrils for the climbing of this such plant. So leaf tendrils is found over here, and sometimes spines is also for in the Opuntia plants to reduce the rate of transpiration, And phyllodes is all found in the Australian acacia babul. And pitcher leaf is modified into a pitcher-like structure in the Nepenthes plants. In the Nepenthes, it is an insectivorous plants or pitcher plant, pitcher-like structure to attract the insects and for and the digestion of that insect to find the loss of the nitrogen. Food storage is found over here if leaf is modified to store the food in the garlic and in the onion also. Onion and garlic both are bulb-like structures, and it is the modification of leaf. Responsibility is to store the food. Vegetative reproduction is found in the bryophyllum. In the ajuba plant or in the bryophyllum plants, there is a vegetative reproduction is found. You can see here leaf spines. In between the leaves, it is an spine leaves. Tendrils of the leaf, the tendrils is there in the sweet pea plants, second picture. And in the third picture, you can see the leaf hooks are there to make the support for the climbing of the plant. And in the next one, it is a Phylloclades. Phylloclades like structure is found in the Phylloclade plants. So such type of modification over here. And one bryophyllum is there. You can see the leaves of the bryophyllum. The margin of leaves is developed into a very small plant for the purpose of the vegetative reproduction. In the sweet pea plants, there is a tendrils is there, leaf tendrils. This is all about this chapter. In the next session, in the next part, we will take up the modification of flower, seed and study of the fruits. Thank you and have a nice day.